Hey y'all, I'm Kenna Danielle. This is another great episode of ETX Rocks featuring Drew Fish.
From the great state of Texas, this is the latest episode of the ETX Rock Show. Nestled in the piney woods of East Texas, the ETX Rock Show delivers the stories and songs of talented artists of all genres, all styles, from the unheralded and unheard to the legends and beyond. We bring a passion for music and a drive to go behind the curtain with our guests. We focus on all artists, from LA to New York, Nashville down to Texas, and everywhere in between. ETX is our location, not a limitation. Now, as always, it's viewers and listeners like you out there that are our biggest support for the show. If you want to contribute to the show, please do so by donating to www.paypal.me/ETXRocks. And thank you for tuning in. Wherever you're tuned in, please hit the like, follow, and or subscribe buttons. And now for another great episode of ETX Rocks. Hey guys, Boston Chris here with the ETX Rock Show, and you are tuned in to the 243rd episode of the show. Our guest today had two heavyweights in the Texas music scene, encouraging him to become a performer. When Texas legends Cory Morrow and Grammy Award winner Lloyd say you should get a band together, you listen. Since then, the Drew Fish Band has been playing every venue imaginable and shaping the Texas country music charts with old school melodic country music. Now riding the success of his latest brand new top 50 hit, Flood, Drew continues to rise ever upward. If his latest EP, Treat You Right, isn't a part of your go-to playlist, then you just haven't heard it yet. It's the true definition of a sing-along album. Every song designed to make you move or make you think. Guys, we're super excited today to introduce everybody out there to Mr. Drew Fish. All right, so we are on location this week. As you can tell, we're not on the set, a.k.a. our living room, but we're out at Cowboys in Tyler with the one and only Drew Fish. It's been a while, man. We've been trying to make this happen for
I appreciate you coming out here and helping make it work.
No problem, man. Now, Drew Fish has been, like I said in the intro, has just been an amazing artist in the Texas country music scene. His singles are always seem to be at the top of the top 20, 25, 30 of the chart. You did bring your guitar with you today, so I mean, you are going to play us a couple of songs.
For sure.
So tell us about the first song and the backstory behind it. This was the big number 2 or 3 song, right?
Yeah, this was number 3 for 10 weeks, and it was the 6th most played song for the entire year of 2017. We released it and hoped it would do well. Had no idea it would do as well as it did, and then sat up at the top. Cody Johnson just kind of blocked us out from that number 1 spot, but we got it. We got enough radio play to be the 6th most played song for the entire year, which was awesome.
Crazy.
And man, it's kind of taken off. It's a song written by Curtis Grimes, Roger Brown, and Byron Hill. And as I was telling you earlier, Byron Hill's got 48 Billboard number 1s. He's written
48.
songs for George Strait. He wrote Full Hearted Memory. He wrote Born Country by Alabama. He wrote Politics, Religion, and Her by Sammy Kershaw.
Yeah.
And Roger Brown's got 2 George Strait cuts, 5 Randy Travis cuts, and the list goes on and on. Kenny Chesney, Mark Chestnut.
And you all know who Curtis Grimes is.
Yeah.
If you don't, then
he's Texas boy.
Yeah. Curtis is amazing. Real good friends with Curtis. And but anyway, this is called Sounds Like a Plan. This is live and unplugged, only here on the ETX Rock Show. Y'all check it out. It's the Drew Fish Band. All right, so we are back. Once again, that was Sounds Like a Plan. Huge song in 2017.
Yeah.
And we're talking with Drew Fish here. This is episode 243 of the show. You got started really young.
Yeah, I started playing music since I can remember.
Yeah.
My dad plays piano, and normally he's out on the road playing with us, but he had to take this weekend off. He actually has a job. He just comes out whenever he can get off, comes and parties with us,
Right.
and keeps us in line.
Yeah.
But everybody in the band's been playing together for 10 years.
Wow.
Bass player, drummer, and I went to high school together. And as you said a minute ago, when I was in high school, a good friend of mine, Cory, was actually playing right here in Tyler. He was playing a place called Bootleggers.
Yeah.
And we went out with a show to go support him. And about 3/4 of the way through the show, he called me up on stage and said, "We're gonna get my good friend Drew Fish up here for this next song." And I didn't realize that I was about to get called up on stage. And he hands me his guitar, and they hand me like a headset. And I put the headset on, and I hear the click track in the background. And I'd never played to a click track before. And he goes, "Just play to it." And
So was that your very first show?
That was the very first time in front of an audience.
Wow.
And
so your first show, you were playing Cory Morrow's guitar.
Yeah. And man, that click track was about half as fast as I was playing. I
can imagine. You had to be terrified.
And man, it's like there are those moments when you kind of like black out because you got so much adrenaline going. I got off stage, like I don't remember actually being on stage at all. I just remember getting off stage and being like, "Man, that was cool. I had to get a band together."
So prior to that, were you just kind of dabbling with music a little bit here and there?
I knew how to play. My dad played piano, so I'd
Right.
play. I was writing songs for girls, hoping that it might work out.
Yeah. That seems to be the story for a lot of folks writing songs in high school, just trying to get the girls, you know.
Yeah. And it doesn't work.
So just being dragged on stage like that kind of hit the fast forward button for you, didn't it?
Yeah. So that started. I went back to Austin, and two of my friends from high school, Gary Wilder, who's still our bass player. We've been playing together for 10 years, and Andrew Estrada's our drummer, and he's been playing with us for 10 years. And
wow.
It started off just playing music to try and pick up chicks and get free alcohol, underage, get in bars, and nobody
That's
really
cool that
asked
you
me
guys
for
are all
IDs.
still together, man.
And actually, man, there's a lot of stories about Tyler. One of them being the Cory story. There was another time we were up in Tyler. We were playing Electric Cowboy back before Coaches and Cowboys opened up, and our car broke down on the way up here. We were driving at 31. And broke down in Corsicana, and we left the truck on the side of the road.
We almost made it.
Yeah. And we left the truck on the side of the road, hooked the trailer up to the AAA tow vehicle, and when they were pulling up, they were like, "Yeah, we only got enough room for 2 people." So we did nose goes on who gets to get in the trailer and ride to the show.
Is that when it becomes an acoustic show?
Well, no, we put the rest of the band in the trailer. Did not tell the AAA driver that there were people in the trailer. But yeah, we put the rest of the band in the trailer and came up to Electric Cowboy and played the show, and Curtis is from Gilmer.
Right.
So Curtis offered to come pick up the trailer and drive us back to Austin the next day. So we stayed in East Texas that night, and the next day we were driving back down to Austin. We got to about Waco when I got a phone call from the property that we stayed at. They called and they were like, "You can't just come out here and leave the place trash, like beer cans everywhere," which we did not do,
right.
For the record.
Yeah.
And so we apologized, saying that we had cleaned up before we left, and hang up the phone, and Andrew goes, "There ain't nothing wrong with being irresponsible." So we decided to write a song about it, and that was Curtis's first.
It's funny. I've heard this story from Curtis's side, and it's neat hearing it from the other side.
Yeah, we still have the actual recording from driving back of us. Well, since Curtis was driving, we were all drinking in the car on the way back.
Right.
I hope there aren't any cops watching this right now.
No. If you're a cop, turn this off.
Yeah. But yeah, we were all lubricated on the drive back, and there were a lot of funny things that were said. Probably not radio appropriate.
Yeah. The way Curtis puts it is, we were being irresponsible on the way back. That's
a great way to put it.
It's funny because, I mean, from those days to now, both of you guys' songwriting has taken a different shape.
Yeah.
You know, with you especially, your songwriting has always been really fun and upbeat. And I mean, of course, you still have your ballads here and there as well, but I think you're really known for that upbeat song that gets people moving. And that's why I love, you know, I said in the intro, if you haven't heard this album yet, then what are you waiting for? Because this is such a great album that just puts you in a good mood. And I mean, I go to it every day. I have for a while since it came out in April, right?
It came out in I believe, August of last year.
Okay, that's what I meant.
Year.
August. I always
a
get
year and a
those
half
two.
ago.
Okay, so was it 2016?
So it was 2016. I think it was August of 2016.
Okay. It's just a great record, and it's so different than your first one as well.
Yeah.
Because your first one it wasn't as upbeat. There were some upbeat songs in it, but I heard a little bit more mandolin and violin and stuff like that in
Yeah.
the first one. The second album, there's a lot more of the electric guitar riffs and stuff like that. Was there a strategy involved in evolving between the albums?
The first record, a lot of it was written with like a Turnpike Troubadour's influence.
Right.
Kind of more of a, kind of almost like not bluegrass, but maybe a little bit of like a string band kind
I
of
definitely
feel to
felt that, yeah. It was
And,
almost bluegrass.
The second record was kind of more of like a rockin' version of
Yeah.
Randy Rogers, I'd say.
Yeah.
And so this next record that we're putting together right now is going to be kind of more of a take back to the '90s.
Nice.
Kind of a
A lot of harmonies and stuff
kind
like
of like
that.
an Alan Jackson kind of feel.
Okay, cool.
We got one song that we're working on getting Willie Nelson to sing the third verse on, and that tune sounds like a Willie tune.
Wow.
Curtis and I wrote that one with the intention of getting getting Willie to sing on it. So the song was written with a Willie style. There's another song that Curtis and I wrote called Lone Star Saturday Night. That's it kind of sounds like a Jake Worthington, like How Do You Honky Tonk kind of vibe,
Okay, cool.
vibe to it.
Yeah.
We got a song that I wrote with Roger Brown called Another You. It's a slower love song, basically saying like I messed up, and if I could go back, I'd change things if I could go back, but I can't go back, and
Right.
now I'm stuck living here knowing that I lost you, and I'm never gonna find another you.
So when do you think the album will be ready?
So we're hoping to release it in October, but
Okay.
we're musicians, so
October means February.
yeah, February. Realistically, probably February. We're going to the studio to record it in June.
Okay.
But then it's just going to kind of depend on how fast everything goes in the process. You gotta get musicians lined up to when everybody's schedule's open to actually record it. So when you might get the rhythm tracks down one time, and you gotta wait 2 weeks to get guitar on it, and 2 weeks to get fiddle, 2 weeks to get this and
Right.
that, and you don't put vocals down until everything else is already down. So
Yeah, everything has to be done before
Yeah.
you bring the singer in.
So it all kind of just depends on when schedules line up.
Right. And so are you from the Austin area originally?
Born and raised in Austin.
Yeah.
Actually, everybody in the band was born and raised in Austin.
Wow. So how much influence do you have from the music scene right there where Austin's at?
That's what I mean. The music that influenced me. I'd say like one of the guys that really like made me like really appreciate songwriting was Robert O'Keen.
Okay.
The first time I saw him was a sold out show at Gruene Hall, and man, I remember being underage and drunk in the front row and.
Again, if you're a cop, turn this off right there.
And just like sitting there and being like, man, like you actually like listen to the song. It's not something you hear, it's something you listen to.
Yeah.
And he was kind of the guy who got me to start writing songs.
And that's a good songwriter, and you're definitely there. It's cool listening to your albums because you know if you're listening for the first time, you don't know what's coming next. You have no idea what to expect, and so I think just because of that, you don't know what to expect, you're more liable to listen and give it a chance. You know.
And like our CDs, the way that we pick songs to be on and stuff, it's like what do we want to play live?
Yeah.
What music do we want to listen to? Like if we were at a concert, what would we want to hear?
And what resonates live, I think that's really important as well.
And so a lot of it is, like we write hundreds of songs, and then you end up chopping it down to 9 songs for a record and 10 songs for a record. Like just kind of how many songs end up on the record. But the songs that get picked to actually be on the record are either something that is so much fun for us to play live that we can't not put it on a CD.
Exactly.
Or something that like really resonates with other people, that it's something that's powerful.
Right.
And so like there's slower songs. I'm not gonna name any songs. There's some slower songs that were put on records because they're songs that like when you hear it, you feel the song, like you feel the meaning of the song. It's like something that kind of hits you.
Is that kind of like the song Memory?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking more like Baby Just Let Go.
Yeah.
Like Baby Just Let Go is not a song that you really want to hear in a bar like it's not a drinking song. It's not a party like go grab another beer song. It's more of a.
That's a tummy.
Yeah, it's like you listen to it and you kind of you feel what it's saying.
You definitely want to dance to it though. I mean,
yeah.
That's what's going to get you and your lady out on the dance floor.
Yeah, so I mean, like it's not necessarily a song that's like we're like, let's go play that one. Like that's gonna rock out.
Yeah.
It's more something that it's the meaning behind it is so powerful that like it can connect to people, and it's something that like a lot of people hear in a different, like in many different ways. When I wrote the song, I wrote it about a girl, and right when we released the first record, a guy tweeted a picture of his baby son, and tagged us in it, and I had never really thought of it.
You never thought of it in that.
But he was basically telling his son, he's like, "I'm always going to be here for you.
Yeah.
Like you don't ever have anything to worry about." And I had never thought of it from any perspective other than a girl.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it's kind of crazy how something that you view one way can be perceived so many different ways.
Agreed.
Are right over the head.
And that's usually a good song too. I mean, when someone can put it into a different term than what you intended it to be.
Yeah.
You know, how important do you find it as a songwriter to have those kind of songs on an album to keep a good balance on there?
We try and keep like 60% upbeat, fun party music. Stuff that we want to drink to, that when we have the friends over, let's crank the tunes, and 40% stuff that when we're sitting home alone and you're like just listening to a song that means something to you.
Right.
I think a 60-40 split's pretty good.
I agree with that. I think it's a good idea too, because you know, music fans have different tastes and stuff like that. And I mean, you're going to have your songs that sound good on the radio in the summertime, but you also need those songs that are going to make people want to cuddle during the wintertime too, you know. Did I just say cuddle on air? Cut. No, my fiance's going, wait, what? Oh, man. And speaking of one of those songs that, you know, everybody heard on the radio and just loved it, Livin' for the Weekend was just an incredible song. Being from East Texas, it just makes you want to go to the lake and make memories.
Actually, that music video was shot in East Texas on Cedar Creek Lake.
No kidding?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and you had some cameos in that. That's what I wanted to talk about, because he had a couple of cameo appearances in this video from some Texas music.
Yeah, we had a friend, Sarah Hobbs was in it. Bradley Banning was the lead guy. Bradley's last single was Don't Mess with Texas.
Right.
He's just released a new single. I cannot remember what it is, but he played it for me the other day, and it was great.
Yeah. And I mean, just two fantastic artists. They've both been on the show before. That's why I wanted to mention it.
And also, Erin Johnston out of Fort Worth was in it.
Okay.
She's awesome. I don't think she has a CD out right now, but if you get a chance to see her live, she's awesome chick, great songs.
Cool.
A lot of fun.
How did that all come together with the cameos and all that? You guys just having fun one weekend and said, hey, let's make a music video?
Well, no, we were planning on making... First of all, music videos are basically just a big party that we film. We were planning on shooting a music video, and so I just called up friends and we're like, "Hey, who wants to be in this music video? Come out."
He never called me.
I was like, "I'll provide the alcohol. Whoever wants to come out and drink and be in the music video." And
I'm surprised you didn't have 50,000 people out there if that's the case.
Once we hit a certain number, we stopped calling people.
Put up the rope.
When you get too many people, it gets hard to film because it's like herding cats.
Yeah, that's funny. I can imagine that. But yeah, Sarah's an East Texas girl, and Bradley was on the show last year as well. And
he's from the DFW area.
Yeah, just wanted to give them a shout out because I love that video. It's so much fun to watch, and I mean, I'm a guy, you know. Sarah Hobbs, man. I'm just saying.
There's a lot of cute girls in that video.
Heck yeah, there is.
If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's all over YouTube.
Yeah.
Drew Fish Band. We got 5 music videos out right now.
We'll link it in the description below.
Perfect.
We'll even help people out with that.
Yeah, we're actually about to release a brand new video for Flood.
I was gonna ask that.
Yeah, we're shooting it in 2 weeks, and it'll be out the end of April.
Okay.
And we've got. Zach Morris is filming it. He's done a lot of John Bauman videos, and it's gonna be the first video that we have special effects in.
Cool.
And not anything like overkill, but we're sinking a room in Cedar Creek Lake,
Oh,
and so it's going to look like the room's flooding.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And we're talking with Drew Fish here. This is episode 243 of the show. Can't believe we've done that many shows.
Yeah, you got a couple in the track record.
Oh yeah, yep. We have a content library.
Nice. That's always good.
We've done a few, and that's just this show. We actually have 2 other shows too.
Awesome, very cool.
And we have a Songbirds and Troubadours show, which is kind of a feature on songwriters.
Very cool.
That we do every Sunday night, and we're already on episode like 11 of that. We just started in January of that one, and so it's really cool. And we got the Ricky Lynn Gregg show starting in April. I don't know if you've heard of Ricky.
I'm not familiar.
He was kind of a 90s country star. He
Awesome.
was the very first country artist to have a website, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, Pat Green was like, I think the first one to start a fan club.
Wouldn't surprise me.
And like that, I mean, that's what gave him national credibility.
Right.
Was that he had started this email list fan club that nobody had done before.
Right. And so the new single by Drew Fish is called Flood.
Yeah.
And this thing is just shooting up the charts.
Yeah, we're going to take it all the way up to number 1.
I think so. It's already number 43, only after 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And are you on radio tour for this already? Or?
Yeah, we're doing a radio tour. We've hit a decent number of stations. It all kind of blends together.
Yeah. It's kind of a blur.
Yeah.
Because you guys are one of the most busy touring bands in the state as well.
Yeah,
so.
we stay busy. Last night was my first night in Austin in 2 weeks, and I'm not going to be back for 4 weeks.
Wow.
So
it's like
stay
6
busy.
weeks on
Yeah.
right now. And all over the state as well. And I know
all over the
play,
country.
Yeah, you play outside the state as well. So what's that like, kind of getting out of Texas and introducing other markets to the music?
It's kind of crazy. Like you see, a lot of people here view this as a regional music, as like something that Texas has.
Yeah.
The thing is these Texas acts are being noticed nationally because you can't get this kind of music anywhere else. So that when these bands go outside of the state, everybody wants to hear them. You actually sell way more tickets than what you'd expect. Our first show in Idaho was 2,400 tickets sold.
Wow.
And we never played in Idaho before, and that was last summer. We've done Montana. We've played as far west as Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, Colorado, and east. I mean, we got shows on the books in D.C., New York,
Nice.
Connecticut, Virginia, the Carolinas, Tennessee.
It's going to be cool kind of spreading the music and stuff, because as an independent artist, it's really hard to be heard sometimes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you can bring that style of music, that freedom really from the state of Texas to other areas, it's just going to be cool, because you're spreading something has for many years tried to be held down by the industry.
We're very lucky to have guys like Aaron Watson who are breaking down these barriers.
Right.
I mean, Aaron got the first Billboard #1 of any artist of any genre. It's never happened before.
Yeah, the only independent artist to debut an album #1 on Billboard.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And that was in 2015, and after he broke that barrier down, and then I believe Sturgill did it, Jason Isbell. There were a handful of independent artists that did it after him.
Right.
They saw what he did. They saw how it's able to be accomplished, and it's kind of putting commercial music in its place and making them realize that if you're not going to listen to what people want to hear, then the independent artists are just going to put you out of business.
It's just nice to have a choice as a music fan, because for a lot of years you really had to dig to have that choice. You had to unearth the music, and now that independent music is more at the forefront, it's easier to find thanks to social media and stuff like that as well. But for so many years, I'm 41 years old, so for a lot of years, I mean, we were forced to listen to whatever was on the radio.
Yeah, I mean, social media is a big part of it. Like radio stations that are supporting independent music is a big part of it too. Because without the radio stations that are playing our music, we can't afford to come out here and play, because there's nobody that's how people find music.
Right.
Spotify has opened up a lot of doors for people. Spotify's made it where you don't have to go buy all these CDs and hope that one of them's good.
Right.
You can just surf across.
And that was definitely a thing back when I was younger.
Yeah.
I mean, you would hear a single on the radio and you'd be like, man, this is a great song. I bet you the rest of the record is just as good.
Yeah.
Then you'd go buy the CD and it was all crap.
Yeah.
They gave you the best song on the radio and the rest of it was nothing.
And YouTube's done a lot too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's made it where, just like Spotify, you don't have to go spend all this money to try and find a good song.
It's just about having choices. There's pros and cons to that too, because I mean, you know, the songwriter isn't really being supported by that stuff. You're being heard more.
It's watered down songwriting. It has made it where the songwriters can't afford to be songwriters.
Right.
And so, I mean, I actually just heard the statistic the other day. I believe it's that 10 years ago there were 4,500 songwriters in Nashville, Tennessee, and as of January 1st, 2018, there were 250.
That's because they're all moving to Texas.
Yeah, but also the songwriters just can't afford to do it anymore.
Yeah, you can't put food on your table with exposure. That's why.
Exactly.
You know, and I mean, when you're making a percentage of a penny for every spin wherever it is, it's tough. And I mean, let's be honest though. I mean, the songwriting's not as good today as it used to be either, and I think that's just because of all of that oversaturation.
Yeah, the thing is, the songwriting coming out of Texas is, in my opinion, exponentially better than what you
I agree,
what you
because
do
of
on
the
commercial
freedom,
radio.
right?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's cool to see guys like you and Curtis and all these other guys co-writing too, because I mean, there's just so many good songwriters in Texas, and I think, wow, my accent just came through. Songwriters, my bad. But yeah, there's so many good songwriters in Texas that it's cool to see that you're co-writing with people.
Yeah, we actually put together a songwriters retreat twice a year.
I did see that.
It was last week, and we had Bradley Banning, Sarah Hobbs was out there, Curtis Grimes was out there. We had some of the guys from Roger Krager's band out there. We had some writers come in from Nashville. We had James Land. Man, there were 20 guys out there, and I cannot remember all the people who were out there.
And this
John Stork was out there.
Was this down in Austin?
It was actually in Malakoff in East Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, how did I miss that? So, I mean, you do have a pretty good history here in East Texas. You're here quite often.
Yeah, we're not in East Texas as much as I'd like to be.
Yeah.
But we're very busy. I mean, we're in West Texas more than East Texas. It's all kind of spread out more over there, though.
Right.
We probably make it East Texas four times a year.
Yeah. Well, at least I mean that's really good compared to some artists. I mean, some folks that I like, I have to wait like 9-10 months to see him. Like Aaron, he's usually here only once a year. You know, Cody Jinks might stop through once a year. It's like, man, this sucks. Because you know, like
Cody's another guy that Cody. I mean, we already spoke about Aaron.
Yeah.
Cody's he's breaking down national doors. He's selling out venues
time.
that haven't been sold out by independent artists before,
Right.
and on a national scale. He sold out back-to-back nights in Washington. This
And
year.
what I love about Cody Jinks is no matter how big he gets, he still plays the same venues in Texas. He plays here at Cowboys, for example, even though he's made it huge. You know, there's a place up in Texarkana that he plays religiously every time he comes through East Texas. Like, he doesn't have to play these small venues anymore, but he still does, and I think that's just a testament to who Cody Jinks is, you know what I mean? I think it's neat. But yeah, I mean, you get Cody Jinks, Aaron Watson, Cody Johnson. I mean, Josh Ward is really...
Josh Ward's killing it. I think right now Josh Ward is the most played artist on my Spotify.
Yeah. Man, what a great artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked to Josh earlier in season 3, and it was a huge, huge treat for us.
Yeah.
Just a super nice guy and traditional as you can get, man.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
He's got good country music.
Yeah, absolutely. So, speaking of good country music, we have Drew Fish here with the Drew Fish Band.
Yeah.
This is episode 243. Y'all don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with more from Drew. And also, he's going to play the brand new single called Flood. So, y'all don't go anywhere.
Hey, this is Colby Cooper,
And JT Sharp.
and thank y'all for tuning in to the ETX Rock Show.
All right, so guys, we are back with Drew Fish, and if you guys have been watching the show religiously, we want to thank you guys very much for tuning in. But you know that we like to play a game with our guests on the show, and Drew had no idea. I didn't tell him at all about this, so
Oh no.
yeah. So he has no clue what's about to happen. And
Games sound like trouble.
well, they're a lot of fun sometimes, and it just sets us apart from other shows.
Yeah.
You know, just trying to be fun and have some laughs. But we've brought back an old game that we used to play in season 1 called Rapid Fire. And the way this works is I'm just going to ask you 10 questions really quickly. You have 90 seconds to answer them. And if you don't answer them in time, then you're going to be attacked by bionic killer bees. So you might want to be quick about this.
Man, I better be careful.
Yeah, because I can already hear them in the walls. So they're ready to get after
Pray for me.
Yeah. All right, so and a lot of these questions are kind of like in a would you rather scenario.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, so this is Rapid Fire with Drew Fish. Y'all check it out. All right, number 1, Drew, would you rather Jimi Hendrix or Stevie Ray Vaughan?
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
All right. Would you rather have a date night at the movies or a date night at the lake?
Lake.
All right. Would you rather look like a fish or smell like a fish?
Smell like a fish.
All right. Who's your favorite independent artist?
Josh Ward.
Man, we just mentioned him. That's cool.
Fresh on the mind.
Yeah. All right. So would you rather drink a gallon of ketchup or drink a gallon of mustard?
Mustard. Neither one of them. Neither one of those are good.
I agree. All right. Would you rather know it all or have it all?
Know it all.
All right. That was number 6. All right. Name a superpower you'd like to have that would be completely useless in a dangerous situation.
Completely useless. Everything's useful. I'm trying to think of something. What? What superpowers are useless? I just say like.
Okay, like one person said, I'd like to be able to change guitar strings instantly.
Oh, that's a good one. I'd like to be able to sell merch at the same time I'm playing and not have to pay merch.
There you go, saving money. That would not be helpful if you're being attacked. That's very good. All right, would you rather have overly large hands or extremely tiny feet?
Overly large hands.
Okay, number 9. What's harder to find, Jimmy Hoffa or MC Hammer's career?
MC Hammer's career.
Yes, it is. All right, last one. Would you rather start every sentence with the words, "Hey, idiot," or end every sentence with, "Haha, I was only kidding"?
Hey, idiot. It'd be more fun.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would, unless you're married. That might not go over
Get you
well.
in trouble.
Yeah, not at all.
Man.
Hey, idiot, make my dinner. That wouldn't work at all. All right, so that was Rapid Fire with Drew Fish. Just a little something we like to break up the monotony. So
I don't want to get myself in too much trouble.
Not at all. I think you did good. I think you made more trouble earlier talking about all the crimes you've committed. Yeah, shh. Nobody's watching this, don't worry. So yeah, you are going to play another song. We're really excited about this. This is a huge treat for you guys. This is the brand new single, Flood.
Brand new single. It's been flying up the charts. We're gonna take it all the way up to number 1. Mm-hmm. It's a song that I wrote. So our drummer Andrew Estrella and I were sitting down. We tried to write a song for 4 hours, and I don't think we even got like 2 lines written. And finally, we just gave up. And I went back home and was sitting in South Austin watching the rain come down out the window, and it just kind of like sparked. It was about almost 3 years ago now.
Wow.
When the floods were going through the hill country. Wimberley was 50 feet underwater, and I was just kind of thinking of the devastation it leaves behind and how like relationships can kind of end in the same way. So wrote the song, we put it on the Treat You Right record, and wanted everybody to hear it, so we sent it out to radio.
It's such a great song. It's very reminiscent of 90s country, if you're a 90s country fan like I am. And I must have heard this song probably 6 times on the way here from Longview. Yeah. It's such a good song, man. I love it.
Get those Spotify plays up.
Yeah, I know, right? And yeah, that's important too. Like, you know, I have the whole record on my Spotify playlist.
Awesome.
You know, I mean, like I said in the open, this is a go-to record for your playlists out there. You guys need to add
it, tell your friends about it, and come out to a show and see it live.
Absolutely. And I mean, so you guys, we're really excited to show you this. This is Live and Unplugged, the brand new single from Drew Fish. The song is called Flood. Y'all check it out.
Keeps running through my
All right, so we are back once again. The best way I think you can help Drew Fish right now is to call your local radio station and request that they play the song Flood by the Drew Fish Band. And I imagine Drew doesn't care where you're from, even if you live in Tanzania.
Do it.
I don't know why I always go to like African countries when I make that joke. I'm going to have to spruce up my geography skills. Yesterday it was Nigeria.
Well, next time it can be Germany. Hey, actually, on the subject of overseas, we're playing in France in August.
Wow.
For a big music festival. So if there's anybody watching from France, come out and party with us at the Equa Blues Fest.
You might be surprised, but we actually do have quite a few listeners in France.
Yeah, we pushed our first Small Price to Pay music video out to media sources worldwide. It was played on CMT. It was played on GAC.
Right.
And it was 44 different outlets it got played on, and only like 30 of those were in the U.S. So there were a decent number in Europe and in Asia and
Isn't
South
that awesome
America.
when you see those kind of numbers?
And man, afterwards, we had a big spike from France in all of our social media accounts. By the way, add us on social media. It's all at Drew Fish Band.
Yeah, we were just going to get into that. Where can folks follow along with you?
Yeah.
I know you're on Facebook and Twitter. Do you have an Instagram?
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat. Snapchat gets a little dangerous at nighttime. Sometimes I wake up the next morning and have to click delete. But yeah,
Snapchat filter.
They're all at Drew Fish Band, so follow us. And the website's drewfish.com, DREWFISH.
Yeah, Drew Fish. The website is the only thing that doesn't have the word band on it. Everything else is at Drew Fish Band. And it's drewfish.com. Very cool website. It has all his tour information. There's links to his social media there as well, and you can listen to the music on there and purchase it as well.
We got Spotify kind of embedded in the website.
Right.
T-shirts and koozies and hats and CDs and all that good stuff is for sale in there. And you can see the tour dates, as he said. Come out to the show, come party with us. We like to party with everybody after the show's in. So. And
he plays everywhere. So I mean, even if you're not in Texas, make sure you're checking out the tour because. Like you said, he's going to be all over the place, even France.
Yeah, if you follow on Bands in Town, it sends you emails whenever we're in there.
Very cool app. If you guys don't have the Bands in Town app yet, that's something you need to definitely download. We've talked about that on the show before. It's really cool, and you can add your favorite artists on there, multiple artists, many as you want. And basically, the app lets you know where they're playing on a day-by-day basis.
Yeah, it'll shoot you an email if any of the artists are in your area.
Yeah, and it's always cool, like when you get an email from Cody Jinks or somebody like that, it makes you feel important.
You're getting emails from everybody anyway.
Yeah, I really am. My email's crazy. It's like a revolving door, but I would have it no other way. All right, so once again, it's Drew Fish with the Drew Fish Band. You can follow along with everything he does at drewfish.com. His social media is at Drew Fish Band. And one thing I would like to implore you guys to do is to subscribe to them on YouTube as well. Subscriptions on YouTube are really, really important in getting your videos and content into like recommended video areas. So when an artist like Drew is played on your YouTube, the algorithms will suggest Drew for the next video, and you'll find new artists that way. It's really neat. We've had a lot of artists on the show that I've found on YouTube just from recommended artists,
very cool.
Which is neat. So, and that's all based on subscriptions on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe on there. If you're watching the ETX Rock Show for the first time, you can follow along with everything we do. We're at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're located at ETX Rocks. And again, hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. That'll help us more than anything else you can do. We are all self-funded, so if you want to donate and contribute to the ETX Rock Show, we've set up a donation link at www.paypal.me/ETXRocks. And you guys can send anything from 50 cents to $1 million. We won't take anything more than $1 million. And basically what that helps us do is it gives us the means to actually come to Tyler and talk to Drew Fish. And get out on the road and upgrade our equipment and bring you guys higher quality content, which is what we want to do the most. As we always say on this show, we want to thank everybody out there for always supporting live music of all genres and all styles. And don't ever forget,
ETX rocks.
That's right.
Howdy folks, this is Aaron Watson.
This is Bree Bagwell.
This is Jake.
And this is Walter from Rocky Queen.
This is Curtis Grimes.
Monty Pittman.
This is Doug Supernon.
I'm Heather Little.
This is Rob Redwine.
Ho! Hey folks, I'm WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Hey guys, I'm Katie Lynn, and make sure to tune in to ETX Rocks with
Boston Chris.
Hello, y'all. This is Ronnie Millsap, and thanks for tuning in to the ETX Rocks show.
Tough guy, ho!
Hey guys, we're Blacktop Mojo, and thank you for tuning in to ETX Rocks.